What's good, guys? Yo, boy, no mercy, 4K. Joey Mercy in the building, and back at you on their banger reaction video today. We got another Larry Bird reaction for you guys. We're gonna be reacting to how good was Larry Bird actually. You guys asked me to check this specific video out, so that's what I'm here to do. If you enjoyed this reaction, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this to Larry Bird and other just basketball reactions I post every single day or daily videos, multiple daily bangers. Let me know in the comments what you think about this video, my reaction, and what other videos like this you want to see next. Appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you enjoy. Let's get it. What's good, bro? If you want to see full and uncut reactions earlier than when I post them on here on YouTube, consider checking out the Patreon. Link is in the description. Supporting on Patreon helps me keep making banger videos for you guys, bro. How good was Larry Bird actually?
Larry Bird was one of the best players to ever touch a basketball, and together with Magic Johnson, the biggest NBA star of the 80s. What made him so successful considering he was quite unathletic? And how would he fare in today's NBA? Did he win just because his teams were loaded? And where does he stand among the best shooters of all time? Watch the rest
he's
of
up
the video
there
to find out.
Okay.
A hick from French Lick. Bird was born into a poor family in French Lick, Indiana.
A hick?
2,000
That is a hick.
Larry grew up a shy, introverted kid who didn't
Never heard that
much,
before.
and he did most of his talking on the basketball court. He grew up to 6'9" and played at small forward. But
Damn.
with his understanding of basketball, he could play whatever position he wanted. Larry finished his high school career as the best scorer in school's history, and he could choose where he wanted.
Everybody in their moms was rocking the bowl cut. Bro, they all had that coconut head, bro. You know what I'm saying? You guys remember coconut head from saying That's Classified? They all had the saying.
Finished his high school career as the best scorer in school's history. And
Coconut head hairstyle.
He wanted to go to college. He started playing for Bobby Knight at Indiana University, but didn't like the spotlight and being around so many people. He then settled at Indiana State University, where the pressure was much less than with the Hoosiers. Larry averaged 30.3 points, 13.3 rebounds, and 4.6 assists in college. The Sycamores were invincible in Bird's senior year. They became the #1 team in the country with a 33-win streak.
That's crazy average.
In the 1979 NCAA Finals.
33 win streak is insane.
Their only loss came in the 1979 NCAA Finals, where they played against Michigan State, led by senior guard Urban Johnson. Despite 19 points from Bird, Magic and his teammates celebrated the title in what was the most watched college basketball game in history at the time. Bird was named the Collegiate Player of the Year, leaving Indiana State as the 5th-ranked NCAA scorer of all time. He was already drafted, as the Boston Celtics selected him in the NBA draft in 1978, hoping that Bird, who qualified for the NBA as a junior, would skip his senior year. He opted to stay in Indiana, and when he finally arrived in Boston, the Celtics looked nothing like their championship selves, with consecutive losing seasons. Bird then single-handedly caused the biggest turnaround ever seen in the NBA at the time. Boston improved their record from the season before by 32 wins.
32 wins?
61 wins and 21 losses.
Damn.
His arch-rival Magic Johnson had an
Nah, bro, that's a good-ass freaking... Nah, that's a great record right there.
Arch-rival Magic Johnson and finished with 61 wins and 20.
Bro, turning your franchise around as a rookie in the NBA and getting this record is freaking insane, bro. That is a nice ass record, bro. You're definitely, bro, in today's NBA, you're definitely finishing like at least like 2nd seed, bro. Like you get this record, you're probably 1st seed, to be honest. But if somebody else is doing crazy, you're probably gonna have like the 2nd. Bro, you're gonna be top 2 seed in the conference.
21 losses. Although his arch-rival Magic Johnson had an impressive
probably
season
top 1
and won the title with the Lakers, Bird was named the Rookie of the Year with the average of 21.3 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. He also made the All-Star team,
21 points and 10
and even
rebounds,
finished 4th in the MVP voting, and proved he could transform a mediocre team into a great one all by himself. A new green dynasty. After Bird's rookie year, the Celtics had a busy offseason. Legendary Red Auerbach worked his magic and brought 2 new faces to Boston that would form one of the biggest dynasties in NBA history. Auerbach robbed Golden State by sending them the 1st and 13th pick in the 1980 draft in exchange for center Robert Parrish and the 3rd pick, which became Kevin McHale. Along with the newly formed Big Three, the Celtics also had an all-star point guard, Nate Tiny Archibald, young and athletic forward Cedric Maxwell, and 2 well-integrated role players that made the team complete. The head of the snake was, of course, he, Larry Bird, who was
Larry
second
Legend.
in MVP voting, en route to a league-leading 62-20 record. The Celtics
Damn.
avenged the loss to the Sixers from the previous
62 and
season.
22.
After a tough 7-game series in the Eastern Finals, they were in the NBA Finals once again. There they would be met by the Houston Rockets, led by prime Moses Malone, who was arguably the best center in the league at the time. Malone averaged 23 and 16 in the series. The Celtics were too good of a team and would win the title with 4-2. Bird averaged 15 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists for the series. But the Finals MVP, Maxwell, led the Celtics in scoring with 18 points per game. And when everybody already saw the new Green Dynasty, 2 bad years ensued. Despite Bird's all-around excellence and McHale's improvement, they once again were the #1 seed in the East. Bird was the All-Star Game MVP, but Philadelphia retaliated for a close defeat in the Eastern Finals. And this time, they won in 7 games. The year after, the Celtics regressed even more, finishing as a 3rd seed and getting swept in the 2nd round by the Milwaukee Bucks. After that, Coach Bill Fitch resigned and was replaced by Casey Jones, who won 8 titles in the Bill Russell era as a player. The change bore fruit. The team was refreshed with the young shooter Danny Ainge and veteran point guard Dennis Johnson.
Ainge, I've heard of him. I've heard he's a pretty good shooter, a pretty good player.
The young shooter Danny Ainge and veteran point guard Dennis Johnson, and played the best basketball in the NBA, finishing with a 62-20 record. After 3 years of coming in second, Larry Bird finally won the regular season.
So he just comes into the league and he's straight every year. His team is getting 62-20 records over the regular season. Insane.
MVP with 24.2 points, 10.1 rebounds, and 6.6 assists on average. The Celtics steamrolled to the finals, where a known foe awaited. It was, of course, Magic and the Lakers. The title was decided in Game 7, where Larry Bird led the Celtics to their 15th NBA title. Bird was named the Finals MVP, and he finally had his revenge over Magic. He defeated him in the NCAA Finals of 1979. The following season, the Celtics were even better in the regular season. Bird repeated as MVP, and McHale repeated as the 6th Man of the Year. They got to the finals again with the same opponent. After the Celtics won Game 1, 148-114, in a game that was dubbed the Memorial Day Massacre, it seemed like the Celtics were going to dominate the Lakers and repeat as champions. However, the Lakers had other plans, and especially Kareem was determined to defeat the Celtics. Kareem averaged 25.7 points, 9 rebounds, and 5.2 assists in 6 games, on 60% shooting.
Bro, because you gotta think about it. Back then, there was less possessions because people shot a lot. I feel like we shoot a lot more shots nowadays, so it's like teams get more possessions, more shot attempts and things like that. Bruh, 25 point something a game back then is low-key averaging what? If you expand it, if you actually project it out, you feel me, with the style of play today, that's like 30. That's 30 points a game in today's NBA, or 28 points a game, something like that. So you gotta think about these things.
And the Lakers have finally won the NBA Finals against the Celtics for the first time in 9 tries. 1986, the greatest Celtics team ever and the pinnacle of Bird's career. After the finals loss, Auerbach made another clever move. He traded Cedric Maxwell to the Clippers for Bill Walton, once one of the most talented centers in the league, who accepted the role of a 6th man on the Celtics, while Kevin McHale moved to the starting lineup. The Celtics won 50 out of 51 home games that year, which is a record that still stands and likely will never be.
50 out of 51?
The absolute peak of his game and basketball brilliance in 85-86. He deservedly won another MVP and became the only player other than Wilt and Bill Russell to win the award in 3 straight seasons. The 85-86 season birthed several games that proved the endless basketball genius of Larry Bird, and most notable is the left-handed game. Before the game against Portland, Bird surprised his teammates and journalists by saying that he would shoot the whole game with his left hand because he wanted to motivate himself for a relatively meaningless regular season game. How much did he score? Just 47 points, 14 rebounds, 11 assists with a game-winning shot, and 22 points scored with his left hand out of sheer boredom and fun. And those are the...
Bro, going out there and saying, yeah, I'm gonna fuck around and shoot these shots with my left hand, with my offhand, my less dominant, non-dominant, you know what I'm saying, hand, and still put up 47 points, 14 rebounds, and 11 assists is ridiculous, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Bunch of Schroeder's back in the day, not daring to shoot. Now, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Schroeder, bro, Schroeder would get me annoyed, bro. Schroeder, bro, would just hold the ball and not do nothing with it. Like, I ain't gonna lie, he was definitely scared to shoot sometimes. You feel me? But nah, there was definitely a lot of people back in the day that they were doing nothing with the ball but holding it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no, bruh. Like, people hate on the newer NBA, but you know what I'm saying? At least the newer NBA is more fast paced. They're gonna, you know what I'm saying, shoot a lot more. They're gonna do craftier moves. You know what I'm saying?
Season game. How much
try
did he
more
score?
things.
Just 47 points, 14 rebounds, 11
try
assists
half court
with
here
a
and there.
game-winning shot, and 22 points scored with his left hand out of sheer boredom and fun. And those are the
Yeah, that's
reasons
tough.
why he was called Larry Legend. Apart from that, he also scored a career-high 60 points on the Atlanta Hawks. Earlier in the
Larry
season,
Legend for real.
everything he put up toward the basket went in, and he got into such a zone that the Hawks bench jumped off their chairs and cheered, after which they received hefty penalties from the Hawks coach, Mike Fratello. Throughout the game,
That's tough.
the commentator noted that what he was watching was the biggest shooting exhibition in basketball history, and at the time, it truly was. The
Okay.
Celtics won 67 games in the regular season and lost just
Damn.
one game in the playoffs on their way to the finals. There, they would be greeted by the Twin Towers of Houston, Ralph Sampson, and Hakeem Olajuwon, who defeated the Lakers in the West Finals. But nobody could touch the Celtics that season, who were one of the most talented teams ever assembled. Bird was 2 rebounds and 3 assists shy of averaging a triple-double in the finals, and he deservedly won his second Finals MVP. Final years, injuries, and the Dream Team. In 1987, the Celtics had a very difficult season. Their number 2 pick, Len Bias, tragically passed away after the draft, and they suffered many injuries during the season and the playoffs.
Hey, man, RIP to him, bro. Bro, imagine working so hard, make it to the NBA, you finally make it, and then you pass away, bro. Like,
Tragically passed
that's so sad, bro.
away after the draft. They
Hey,
suffered
man.
many injuries during the season and the playoffs. But Larry
RIP
Bird
to that
was
dude,
too
bro.
good, and they still advanced to the finals after 2 7-game series against the Bucks and the Bad Boy Pistons, where Bird made one of the most legendary plays and stole the inbounds pass from Isaiah Thomas that won a crucial Game 5 for the
Bro.
Celtics. And in the finals again,
I'll be
it was
pissed
the
if I
Lakers for the third
turned
time
over the
in
ball
4
to
years.
lose.
Because LA was much more rested coming to the finals, the Celtics did not have enough gas in the tank to stop the fast-paced showtime. Bird delivered another 24, 10, and 5 for the series, but it wasn't good enough, and Magic got the best of him once again. Next year, Bird had maybe one of the best statistical years of his career. He averaged 30 points on 50, 40, and 90 shooting, a feat he achieved the previous year as well, proving that he's the best shooter who ever played at the time. The Celtics reached the conference finals, but it would be their last hurrah as the Pistons finally got over the hump and managed to beat them. In the offseason, Bird sustained a severe back injury from chopping wood back home in Indiana. He was one of the best basketball players in the world who had
I heard he got a back injury as well from like was he cutting his mom's? I think he was like laying down pavement. Wasn't that what it was? We've seen his injury, a video about his injury pass. I think he was either I think he was laying down pavement, like doing his mom's driveway. I think something like that. And then his back gave out on him, bro. That sucks, bro. And apparently this too, like fucking wood, bro. Like, bro.
Wood back
It sucks that he has so many injuries,
he was one
bro.
of the best basketball players in the world who had millions of dollars, but he was still the hick from French Lick who chopped his own wood when he needed to, and I respect him even more for that. The back injury and surgery on both Achilles tendons caused him to miss almost the entire 88-89 season. However, even debilitated, Bird was better than most players in the league, and despite needing to stretch for more than 2 hours to be able to run, he was still very productive. He was named an All-Star each of the last 3 seasons, along with some memorable performances, like a game in the 1991 playoffs where he suffered a concussion, but then pulled a Willis Reed and came back to the game, scored 17 points in the second half, and won the series for the Celtics. Unfortunately, the toll on his body was getting too much to bear.
Hey, this is why, bro. That's hard. That's just heart, bro. That's heart and dedication, man. Get a concussion, say nah. I don't care what the protocol is. I'm fighting for my life out there. I am going to put up a fight. I am going to go and still play and hoop with my non-sane team.
With his
Bro.
career in 1992,
Team first.
he finally became teammates with his good friend Magic Johnson on the Dream Team. Bird flew off into the sunset with the gold in Barcelona, retiring as the best small forward and the best shooter to ever play. Legacy: trash-talking god, top 10 player ever. One of the most famous.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know what you guys like. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know what you consider non-sane LeBron, but LeBron is obviously the non-sane shit. He's obviously the best small forward, but I think that's what they list LeBron as. But he can obviously be considered as power forward, point guard. You know what I'm saying? Literally anything. Yeah.
Legacy.
But not Larry. You know what I'm saying? Bird is tough. Bird is tough. But then I seen LeBron's the GOAT.
Trash-talking god.
Shout out to my guy Larry, though, bro.
One of the most famous Larry Bird trash talking
a GOAT here too
is from the 1986 three-point shooting contest, when the legend walked into the locker room and asked all the other participants who's coming in second after him. Of course, he went on and scored near every three-pointer and won, all without taking his jacket off. Bird would win the three-point shooting competition the next 2 years as well.
That's what I like to see.
There was no argument who's the best shooter ever. On the 26th of December, 1990,
I like that energy.
Indiana's Chuck the Rifleman Person said he's going bird hunting before the Celtics game. Bird replied that he got a Christmas present for him. And while Chuck was on the bench, Bird got the ball in the corner just in front of the Pacers bench. He hit the jump shot, turned to Chuck, and said Merry effing Christmas. And that's who Larry Bird was and how he talked. He was the ultimate competitor, and he had all the skills in the world to back it up.
Yeah, talk your shit.
He would get the ball, what he was going to do, and then do it. And there was nothing they could do to stop
Bro, that shot is crazy.
The opposing team of what he was going to do, and then do it. And there was nothing.
That shot is so tough to hit, bro.
He accused the opposing team of putting a white guy to guard him because he felt that was disrespectful. And if you watch Space Jam, you know that Larry isn't white.
Bro.
He's clear. Bird would drink half the bar under the table. Sometimes he'd fight people in the bar as well, and then go to the game the next day.
You know what's crazy?
If you watch Space Jam, you know that Larry.
I never knew, bro. I watched Space Jam when I was super young. I barely even know who Jordan was, to be honest, bro. That was like before I even watched basketball like that, or guys basketball like that, bro. I never even noticed Larry Bird was in that movie, bro.
Larry isn't white. He's clear. Bird would drink half the bar under the table. Sometimes he'd fight people in the bar as well, and then go to the game the next day and dominate as if nothing happened. Bird was a unique player, and there was nobody like him. At first glance, his moves look almost clumsy, far from physically dominant or athletic. He rarely dunked. His vertical was average at best, and he never played exceptionally fast. From the neck down, in basketball terms, he was nothing special. From the neck up until the end of his fingertips, he was a pure genius. There's no doubt that he would be a great player in today's era, where we can see players like Doncic and Jokic dominate the game without great physical talent. Bird was...
That's how you say Doncic? He said Doncic. I thought it's Doncic.
One of the top 10 players who ever played, and one of the best pure shooters ever. He was the best player in the NBA for almost an entire decade, despite the brilliance from Magic and the athleticism of Michael Jordan. And like Magic Johnson said, there will never be another Larry Bird.
That's a fact. Okay. So that was it. How good was Larry Bird? Actually, he was insanely good, bro. He's a great all around Hall of Fame golden player. You know what I'm saying, bro? His shot was lethal. Bro, if only he didn't suffer all them injuries, but it's insane. Just, bro, he suffered all them injuries and still was producing insanely. He was still insanely clutch. His jump shot was so pure, would go in, and he was injured literally his whole career, because you know what I'm saying, his hand was messed up before he even got to the league and things like that. He had a messed up back, you know what I'm saying? He all types of, he's still going crazy. This is why he's a legend, bro. I like the heart that Bird had, bro. You could just tell he had a heart. He had, you know what I'm saying, the willpower. He had that dog in him. You know what I'm saying? What the players be saying? Larry had the dog in him. Let me know what you guys thought about that video, my reaction to it down below. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for me. It really helps out. It means a lot. If you made it until the end of this reaction, thank you. But if you made it until the end, let me know by commenting where your word. W Larry Bird in the chat. W Larry Bird in the comments. Where your word in the comments, because he's a W. W where your word. Where your word in the comments. Made it until the end. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. And